You're just getting started in business. You have no leads converting. You have complaints coming in when you do have customers, and you're having these disagreements all the time about what you actually do and what you actually deliver. But if nobody understands what you do and why it helps them, nothing else matters. And so in this video, I want to give you exactly what I learned this week about how to solve the problem so that more customers are more informed about what you're doing, and you can train new hires on exactly what they need to do to perform your service. And so for context, my business just did just under $200,000 in revenue last year. I'm still a solo operator, but going into this year, I want to do $500,000 in revenue. That means I can't do this alone. I need people to help me. I need people to perform the work without me supervising all the time, because then that takes away from the business. I also need to be performing my work. So to do this, I need a lot more leads. I need more team members that are actually trained and can perform the work without me. And last year when I was thinking about all this, I just had so much stress. I was confused about what the business is doing. I was confused how I was gonna, put these things all into place. I was confused how this all gets delivered to the customer. In fact, I was just so stressed about what the business is going to look like as a whole. But you don't need more ideas. You just need more clarity. At the end of the day, you need to strip down everything, know exactly what you provide to the customer, find your best customer, know exactly what they want, provide that thing, and keep on focusing on just those one to three things. You probably provide that one main service. You have a couple of added, features to your service that make you a little bit different than the competition, and it feeds the best customer that you have. Just keep on doing those things. Anything beyond that is just waste. Anything beyond that will confuse you. You won't understand what you're doing. Your customers won't understand what you're doing. You won't be able to sell what you're doing because you're going to have long paragraphs. And so you don't want to confuse the customer. As soon as the customer is confused, they're not even going to call you. They're not even going to hire you. And if they do hire you and then you still confuse them, there's going to be more disagreements. There's going to be complaints. And the complaints aren't even going to make sense to you, because to you, it's not even, there's no problem, but to them they're just confused. Even if you're delivering the best of the best, and you're sitting there like, I am trying my hardest, my best every day. I'm working 24/7, whatever it is, to deliver this, and it is better than the competition. You know for sure it's better than the competition. It's probably just because you're not being clear. And when you have these new leads that come into your business that are calling on your phone, they keep asking you questions, and these questions should have already been answered, because in your website, in your lead form, in your ad, it should have been way more clear what you do, why it should be for them. When these leads come in, there's probably very few questions that they should actually have if you have a simple, clear offer in a simple, clear business. And don't get me wrong, it's never wrong that customers going to ask questions. You're going to have that one guy that wants to just know everything. Like maybe they're more of like an anxious type. They just want to make sure everything's good for them. Actually, that's great feedback, because that means it gives you more questions to have answered on your front page, on your website, on your ad, in your offers. And so when you simplify everything, your delivery constraint now opens up, because you can now know exactly what you're delivering, and you're not going beyond those terms. You know what you can train on. You can tell a customer, this is exactly what you're getting. This is exactly in what timeline you're getting it. This is exactly the frequency. This is exactly how much it's going to cost. And this is exactly how much you're going to pay over time. And when you can do that for a customer, it sets up their frame of being like, they can now trust exactly what they're getting because they know it. You told them in very clear terms. Now in the future, they know what's coming. So when you have those fires after you already onboarded a customer, and then they're all confused, it's because you didn't handle this up front. You didn't set the tone for the future. And so I kept seeing these patterns over and over again, whether it was disagreements, people not understanding what I deliver as a business, people not understanding, even in personal life, in relationships. Everything just needs to be so clear. Your expectations need to be clear. Your agreements need to be clear. And I kept just seeing this over and over, especially even throughout this last week. That's why it's one of my biggest lessons this week, because I saw it many times. I delivered on it many times. Any entrepreneur, any leader just needs to be more clear. And so I figured out after this week, I'm gonna do something different. So beforehand, I was I was a little bit all over the place. I was like, okay, we're going to provide lawn maintenance services. We're gonna and then I added snow services, which is very simple. And honestly, I since the beginning of the company, I've wanted to keep everything so simple. And I actually let myself get a little complex. I started thinking about, okay, how can we add in a little bit more revenue that, well, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of work, but it is. It's a whole new different offer. It's a whole different structure. And that was doing large projects. Like this was doing subbed out excavation projects, or even if I was taking on them. And so the focus is not to do the projects. Now, the more narrow we can get our focus on what services we provide, the more we can sell it to the customer. We can have these offers that are clear for year round. So when we have lawn and snow packaged together, we can say, we literally cut your lawn all summer long. We take care of your cleanups. We do your trimming of the hedges or light tree maintenance. All of that gets taken care of in the summer. And in the winter, as soon as winter hits, we're transitioning to winter. We're going to be plowing your driveway. We're sanding the driveway. We're clearing your steps. We're shoveling everything. So if it can't fit within that bubble, then it's not clear enough at all. And I'm actually going to be rebranding the whole name because Eagle Lawn Maintenance and Management is just way too long. It's unclear. What does management mean? Do I do property management? Do I manage tenants? What kind of services does that cover? And it came to the point where I just kept having to over-explain myself or answer questions that, honestly, I didn't really care to answer or provide solutions to. I was like, there's no reason I should even have this problem. The name is going to be Eagle Lawn and Snow. And we do this because, look, everybody can say Eagle Lawn and Snow. Eagle Lawn Maintenance and Management. Maintenance and Management itself is just two long words that everybody, gets all jumbled up. And then at the end of the day, it's like, why am I going to repeat myself saying that name over again? And what does management mean? Well, it could be interpreted in many different ways. But the services we do provide, we take care of the lawn and we take care of the snow. We take care of, the little stuff around the lawn, whatever it is, cleanups. It's like a lawn and snow and a little bit more, right? The cleanups and, mulching or trimming is really not an added major projects of service. And so we service with a truck and trailer lawn mowing setup. That's it. And then in the winter, it's you have a truck, you have a plow, you have a sander, you have a shovel. That's it. So that's how we're using it in our business. And moving forward, the website's getting updated. The whole website, I just realized it's too many words. Like it's just too complex. I don't even understand it. If I don't understand it, the customer's not going to understand it. And so we just need to simplify it to just the main points. So like we deliver lawn and snow services. Like that's it. That's pretty much all we need to show them. It's like, hey, we have these simple things. We do this service. We do it well. We remind you of the service. And our billing is just super seamless and easy because we do everything digitally. We have one seasonal full payment. You know exactly what you're paying the entire year long. And so how you can use this today and be more clear in your communication, in your marketing, in your delivery, in your offer structure itself, because you could have the amazing offer, but you don't know how to deliver it and it's not set up properly and people don't understand it. Stick to the rule of thumb of 3. People can remember 3 things. It's very simple if it can be structured into like 3 bullet points. You like I said, you have the mowing service, the text updates, and the billing frequency. Those are the 3 things that show us what we do and why we're different. And why this actually fits with our customers, because we realize the best customers love those 3 things. That's all they care about, and they are raving fans about it. So you want 3 bullets, 3 tasks, 3 steps, 3 offers, 3 strategies. I don't even do three strategies, but like if you had 3 strategies and you had to pick one, like just use the rule of thumb of 3. No long, lengthy paragraphs or explanations. When you're communicating with people, just keep it, this is it, this is what we need, this is the goal, go make it happen. The simpler you can communicate, the more clear you can communicate, people aren't asking questions confused or even trying to just pretend that they understand what you say, and then later it comes back on you because it wasn't clear and you guys are now in a disagreement. And so you don't want these things happening. So you want things clear. Written down is actually really important as well. So you want things verbally communicated, you want things communicated in text form, in written form, And when those things are done, and when your whole company is aligned on the same structure, and there's congruency from the start to the finish, people are reminded repetitively exactly what they need to understand of what you're going to deliver, how you're going to deliver it, why it matters to them. When they know those things over a sequence of patterns, it just gets ingrained, and then they know their expectations match your delivery. And in fact, your delivery might actually move above their expectations. And that's how you create an amazing customers. And that's actually also how you can create an amazing team, because you give them easy deliverables that they can understand, that they can take 3 steps, deliver that service for that customer. And if the service isn't delivered to the customer properly, then that's also going to come back on you because you weren't clear enough. And so for me, this is really just a conversation to me, but I think this is a very, very widely good lesson for anybody. Anybody who wants to be a leader, anybody who wants to communicate exactly what they want to people, you just got to be more clear. And that's what I learned this week. And communication comes in all forms. Like your website is a communication. Any marketing is communication. You know, your emails, your texts, your offers, you know, what you do, like all of that is communication in different forms. You're just going to make sure it's simple, understood, concise, and clear. That's it. And to keep you guys along the journey, I wanted to kind of add this scorecard thing in. I don't know if I want to do this every time or if you guys even care. So this week we actually got a little bit of sanding requests because we had ice storms. So current cash collected from this week is around $400. It's going to be a little bit more than that. It's going to be like 550 or 570, something like that. We're not getting a lot of cash collected now because most of our payments were already paid for, and this was just all for that. So winter is a lot less invoice heavy than summer is usually. I spent around 24 hours in the field, and I'm the only one in the field, so as a team total, spent 24 hours. And customer growth, we've had 0 new customers. We're in the middle of the season, so usually you don't really see much of a change. No lost customers, not a ton of complaints, so we're good there. So far, so good. In fact, we've had way better thumbs up, 5-star reviews in the past couple weeks. So it means we're on the right track, moving something forward, and it means I'm doing something right. I'm delivering something right, and if I just focus on that and keep delivering that, focus on training someone to deliver exactly how I am, it means we can build an amazing business here. And that's what I hope to do. I hope to build a really good team and customer base and structure that works together, that we can simply just provide services to. What I want you to do is this next week, find one thing that you can simplify. So find one thing you can cut all the waste, make super clear. And I assure you, I bet you your website probably needs a little work. And that's like the first thing a customer sees. It's the first thing a public eye anybody can see, because if they want to look you up, they go to a website. So that's your biggest point of communication. Make sure that's clear because it sets up your future success. Make sure your offer is clear. And so just find that one thing, maybe a couple things, maybe the 3 things at max. You don't want to overload yourself, and just cut it down, make everything clear. Your functions and your headaches, your fires will go down. I assure you that. Let me know what you're gonna fix up down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week.